Welcome to Create Your Happy, the podcast that empowers conscious women in life, relationship, and business. I'm your host, Christy Holt, happiness hussy and conscious funpreneur on a mission to change the world one beautiful soul at a time. Now get ready, because on this very special bonus season, we are going to take your entrepreneurial journey to a whole nother level. These uncut conversations are designed to support you as you unleash your entrepreneurial brilliance upon the world. My incredible guests and I have come together with a shared vision to empower women to fully embrace their humanness, find their unique voice, and lead with love. All right, gorgeous, it's time to get curious and become inspired. It's time to create your happy. Welcome to this week's episode masterclass. I am so excited. Today I have with me Jara Geipel, and Jara is a money mindset coach and hypnotherapist. And so I'm really excited to dive into this conversation today. We're going to be talking about abundance and mindset, which are two of my favorite topics because, well, who doesn't love abundance, first of all? And mindset is just something that I'm super fascinated with myself. So can't wait to dive in and have this incredible conversation. Jara, welcome to the show. I'm so glad that you're here. And I would love for you to just dive right in here and share a little bit about who you are and what brought you to this place now, why you're so passionate about speaking about the things that you are going to share with us today.
Yeah. Hello, Christy. First of all, thank you so much for having me here. I'm super excited to be here. And hello, everyone who watches this live or replay. As Christy says, I am a money mindset coach and hypnotherapist, and I live with my family in Germany. I'm also a trained RTT therapist by Marissa Peer. Maybe some of you have heard of that. And I am super passionate about the subconscious mind, about how our mindset influences our actions and our reality, because I've been through scarcity patterns like most of us. We have these blockages from our past, from conditioning. And since I'm young, since 15 or 16, I've always been a deep thinker, a spiritual person, and I always questioned everything, also our existence here. And I asked for, what is my purpose? What can I do here in this life? And since I'm really young, I really wanted to make a difference. And I've had this deep belief that behind the material world here, and also behind all our issues, even disease and the happenings in our lives, there is a root cause in the unseen world, in the energetic world, on a soul level, however you want to call that. And many years, I was really desperately searching for, what can I do in this world? Which occupation can I learn? How can I work with people to bring that in, this deep belief and feeling of there's more to life than what most people see and believe, right? There's more to a disease, or to, if someone has really huge challenges or problems in life, or repetitive patterns that show up in a relationship or whatever it is, there is way more to it. And also I asked the questions of, why do some people succeed? And why do some people always struggle? And my family, when I was young, I'm the oldest of 3 kids, we didn't have enough. And this whole topic, this energy of not having enough, and this fear and the tension of, how can we pay our bills? How can we afford certain things that we wanted? That was the main theme and energy in my childhood. So at some point when I grew older, I wanted to really find out, where does that come from? Or can I somehow interrupt that? Can I change that for myself? And I knew that comes from my parents, but I wanted to live differently. How can I actually, first of all, how can I go deeper and discover all that? How can I clear that and heal it, and then really shift it so that I don't continue living these patterns? And so I tried different things. I was fascinated by meditation, the Buddhism. I started to study psychology, where quickly I felt like that's not it. That doesn't really go into the deep direction that I was searching for. And then I found hypnosis and I felt like, oh, wow. And actually, I read the book when I was quite young. I think with 18 or 19, I read that book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Maybe some of you know that. Mm-hmm. And that really was like the first moment where I really felt like, oh, wow, that is something like that hits the spot for me. I need to find out more about this. And then later on, I did a course here in Germany in hypnosis. I did another online course. And then finally, I found Marissa Peer, who created a specific method, really powerful. And she combines like hypnosis, NLP, psychology, and a couple of other methods. And when I watched a video from her, I knew right away, that's it. That's what I wanted to do. So a couple of weeks later, I signed up and I did that course. And 3 years ago, I started my coaching and hypnosis business. And after working with many women on lots of different issues, I then really, niched down to the money mindset. And now I'm really focused on helping women in business, specifically female coaches, to go deep into their money story and really find out how they can, like where it comes from, and then how they can shift from these scarcity patterns, these money blocks, into a thinking and a feeling of prosperity, and that there is enough and it's available to us and we can create success. And that is what I'm doing. And that's what I absolutely love.
I love that. And I think, there's a lot of conditioning and a lot of beliefs that are held that are just not true. And so if we take the time to unlearn some of those beliefs that may be so ingrained, and they can come from childhood, they can come from other adult experiences, all kinds of traumas can contribute to this, and just society at large. Instills a lot of beliefs within us that may or may not be true. So if we, want to really start to unpack this, and I don't know who doesn't want a little bit more abundance in their life, whether it be money or love or peace or freedom or whatever, whatever you'd like more abundance in. Your zone is a little bit more about money, but like these mindset shifts will apply across areas. So as you're listening, you can just take this information, and if you've got it locked on money, you can apply it to the other areas of your life where you could use a little bit more abundance, and really diving into the mindset, which is fascinating. And I want to just also say, I'm really excited, especially now, because I actually have that book that you mentioned on my library holds, and it's coming up very soon, finally, after a very, very, very long wait. So I'm very excited to do that. Can you, for anybody listening, just tell us more about RTT. First of all, I can't remember exactly what what that acronym is, because there's a few that are really close and I always mix them up. So if you could tell us what that acronym is and just a little bit about that, mostly to satisfy my own curiosity, but in case anyone else is like, what does RTT stand for?
So RTT means Rapid Transformational Therapy. And it's a method that's developed by Marissa Peer. And she put her 30 years of experience as a clinical psychologist into this method. So how it works is that I bring my client into hypnosis. And in hypnosis, which is, so we are not asleep. Some people that are afraid of hypnosis or don't know really what it is a deeply relaxed state. It's a state where our brain waves are lowered, so that our conscious mind, which likes to question everything and likes to interfere, where that is, so to say, asleep, and we get access to the subconscious mind, which is this hidden part of our brain that stores all our experiences, the conditioning, our beliefs, and basically everything. And
no one's going to make you cluck like a chicken or anything like that today. So don't worry about that. That stage hypnotherapy that's a whole nother thing. So, just putting that out there, that it's not always that dramatic version where,
not at all,
and do some silly things. This is just actually going to go deeper within yourself. So,
exactly. And at any time in hypnosis, the person is completely under control. So at any time, that person can open the eyes, interrupt the whole process. So there is not really any, it's not that show hypnosis that some people have in mind. So it's completely, it's completely safe.
Yeah.
So RTT, that is where I bring my clients into hypnosis, and then I can guide them, like the subconscious mind, to go back to the root cause of an issue. So if someone, just for example, has like serious issues, let's just say with self-worth, and then I can guide them back to where that started. Like, what are the experiences, the specific scenes and memories where that have to do with these issues on self-worth. And when we find out, especially in hypnosis, the understanding is super powerful to realize, oh, that is actually where it comes from. And it comes from that experience. So this experience, or maybe what someone said, made me create certain beliefs about myself. And then we have, unless we've done the inner work, we have these emotional attachments to the past, to the experience that is still there. And we can't change the past and the happenings in the past, but we can change how it influences us, because we can change the emotional connection. So in hypnosis, we can find out where it comes from, and that is super powerful. And then there are different tools that I learned with rapid transformational therapy, how we can do the healing work around that. For example, we can upgrade that inner child, like that part of you that is still in the situation, that is emotionally still stuck there. We can bring that part into the now, into your life, into your heart now, to really fully realize that this is who I was, but that's not me anymore. And when we understand that on a very deep level, that is really freeing.
Absolutely.
And yeah, there are different other tools. We can even have a conversation with a perpetrator if it's about such a situation, or we can have a conversation with a person where there's maybe a lot of, blame and shame and guilt, or we can have a conversation in hypnosis with a parent, which is really powerful. And in that way, we can do a lot of healing work and clear a lot of old stuff. And then at some point, we shift to really getting clear on what is it that I want. And I feel like this is a part of healing which often comes too short. Yes, at some point, we just need to stop digging deep into the past. At some point, we need to really look at, what is it that I want? Who do I want to become in this whole process? Like really getting clear on this person. And we will go deeper later in this conversation into that, like the beliefs, the feelings, how do I want to show up? And then really focus on that and embody this person every day. And a very powerful part of RTT is that after the session and this process, I create personalized hypnosis recordings for my clients. So they get a recording with everything that is exactly individualized for them, what they need to hear. And that's what they have to listen to for 21 days. So every day they get rewired and they shift their whole being.
Well, it's like transforming from the inside
absolutely
out, right?
Absolutely.
It's unlearning, the things that we've picked up along the way that weren't necessarily, they may have been very useful even at the time that we picked them up. And they may no longer be, right? This is ultimately about our growth. This is about our evolution. This is about our stepping into that version of ourselves that we know we want to be. And the sooner we can step into that state of being, the better, because there is only now. And so our entire experience, all of what we're creating happens in the now. We're creating that future in the now, where we can't change the past, like you said, but we can create a new story about it. We can change what we're telling ourselves. We can change the way that we are reacting and responding to that past or those stories or the judgments and all of the shame and whatever else we might be carrying. But you're right. There's something so useful about gaining that awareness about where did this actually come from? Because oftentimes, and our brains, God love them, are so helpful in that if we experience something traumatic, we'll often forget about it because that is like a safety mechanism. So that
to protect ourselves.
We don't keep reliving that. And so oftentimes it can be some little silly thing even. I know for myself, I've uncovered some little silly things along the way. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I've carried this belief because of that silly thing. And, it wasn't something I thought about often, but yet there was that belief cemented by that experience. And so sometimes just getting the awareness of where that thing came from is enough for us to almost dislodge that belief that's not helping us.
Exactly.
And release whatever emotional attachments we have and just bringing it to the surface. I mean, hey, when we know better, we do better, right? So having increased awareness, taking that time to do that self-discovery and really learn, hey, this is actually me, this is actually not me, really contributes to our growth and evolution, allows us to step into being who it is we want to be, having the experiences we want to have, living the life that we want to have, the one that makes us, truly fucking happy, because that's what we're here to do. So let's chat a little bit about mindset, because I know we're both passionate about this. And I actually find psychology somewhat interesting, but also in the scope of like neuroscience and quantum physics and all of these interesting things. And we won't go down a rabbit hole of making this a really super in-depth sciencey conversation, but let's talk about the practical aspects and how our mindset and how our brain and how these things function contribute to that.
Yeah. So first of all, our mindset is literally the way our mind is set. It's like how we perceive reality. So we are conditioned, like our mind is set from our experiences. That's why everyone perceives the same situation in a different way. And of course, that is connected to our emotions as well. But our mindset is really how we look at everything. So when it comes to, let's just say, for example, this whole topic of money or abundance in general. So we have all these beliefs within us, in our mind, about ourselves, what is available to us, what we are capable of, or what we deserve or not, or if we can create success or not, or if it's hard or easy for us to make money or not. So we all have heard probably these sentences like, our thoughts create our reality, and even already Buddha said things like that. And so we have heard that, but what does it really mean? Because it is true, and it is in every single day, every moment, actually, it really matters, because the thoughts that we think create pictures in our head. And for our mind, there are only two things that really matter. And those are the pictures that we have in our head, like we either create them or we let them in, and the words that we tell ourselves. Those are the only two things that really matter to our mind. And we know that these thoughts, these pictures in our mind, they are also energy, and they create our feelings. So depending on how we feel, we act and react, right? So that means, you see how powerful that really is, our thoughts. That means if I tell myself, and every day I catch myself as well with stuff, because we tell ourselves stories. If I tell myself, and just today, actually, I said to my partner at supper just 2 hours ago, I said, again, I caught myself that I say, I don't have enough time, and this is a bit stressful, I don't know if I can get all this done on time, blah, blah, blah. So how does that make me feel? Like I don't have enough time, and I feel then overwhelmed. I feel stressed. I feel like, oh my gosh, it's just too much, I can't.
And then the story builds and you're in a spiral.
And yes, and then I will act accordingly, like stressed out, maybe not too focused and all that. But then I straight shifted it, because I'm used to do this work. And I said, wait a moment, actually, how cool is it that I can do all these things, that I can run my business beside family, kids, and everything. And I can do all that. Actually, it's working. That means I do have enough time for that. How does it make me feel? It makes me feel excited. It makes me feel grateful. And it's such a different energy in which our mind literally opens up. It shows us opportunities, and we are clearer, we can focus again, and according to that, we act. That means we take more aligned actions, and we really then take the action steps that are required to move us towards our goals. But all this starts in our thoughts, and our mindset is the way our mind is set. That means if we are not really consciously working with this, creating our thoughts in a conscious way, then we are run by outdated patterns from our subconscious mind, because our subconscious mind, as you said before, it it 95% of our behavior really comes from our subconscious mind, and that is from the past, from outdated beliefs. So I hope that wasn't too complicated now, but
No,
that
I
is
think that was
really
great.
where we can see how powerful our thoughts are and how much we need to take care of, like how our mind is set. And really, our mind, the number one job of our mind is making us survive on this planet by keeping us safe. And that means in the familiar, because our mind thinks everything that is familiar, that is safe. So it rather keeps us there, which means going somewhere like into change or new thoughts, new habits. Yes, the alarm bells ring,
Discomfort, right?
And yeah, it is uncomfortable. And there's a part within us that says, oh, no, don't go there. Don't do that. This is weird, don't do that. You take a risk, This is also when we want to spend money, when we want to do anything that we haven't done before.
Yeah.
But if we know that this is only our mind, which does a wonderful job of keeping us safe, then we can literally have a conversation with ourselves and our mind and say, wait a moment, that's okay. Thanks for keeping me safe, but I choose to do this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do this. And then we can shift and we can make the familiar unfamiliar and vice versa, and really create new habits that way.
Absolutely. And this is actually what I wrote my book about, my first book, Unstuck for Women. It was really about shutting down, getting those thoughts, because you know what, the thoughts, they're going to come in. Now you don't have to accept them all. This is the thing. Our mind is busy. It's going to replay those thoughts mostly on autopilot. And you have the choice. Now you might not feel like it, doesn't feel like it all the time, but you actually have the choice to whether you accept those. And so to further add to your example, I had this realization, and it has happened multiple times, right? Because sometimes realizing something one time is not enough. You've got to realize it till it slaps you, slap.
Mostly, actually.
Most of the time. And so I had this realization a couple of years ago before I wrote this book, and it went something like this. I woke up and I was like, oh my God, I have so many things to do. And I really started to feel overwhelmed with all of it. And then I realized, holy shit, what's making me overwhelmed is these thoughts cycling around my to-do list, my worries, my fears, my thoughts about yesterday, my thoughts about tomorrow, and all of these things. And I realized, like, holy shit, if I could just shut off this like stream of thoughts. And I'm like, oh my God, just like shut up in there, right? Like, come on, mind, just shut the fuck up, right? Just create some space so that I could choose what I was going to do to respond. And that's what Unstuck for Women is about creating that space so that you can consciously choose how to respond versus reacting on autopilot. And so from that moment, I really realized how powerful those thoughts are. And I want to sidebar here to say that this isn't about positive vibes only and, positive thoughts only and all of that kind of stuff, because we're human and we're going to have less than pleasant thoughts and emotions, and our resistance to them actually causes us far more problems than the actual thoughts and emotions in the first place. So again, coming into this space of just slowing things down and asking the question, like, okay, how do I want to respond? Instead of just straight up reacting is going to give you so much more power. And that's what allows you to become, you're always a creator, but a conscious creator who is actually deciding, this is the experience that I wish to create. And on that day when I was feeling so overwhelmed, and I was like, oh my God, like it's my thoughts. I just decided literally that day that I was no longer going to just sit in my overwhelming thoughts.
Yeah.
I thought, that doesn't fucking help me at all. It actually probably, if anything, is going to, probably cause problems in my body. Hello. Anxiety does cause a lot of physical problems in your body. All that trying to stuff the emotions and stuff the discomfort actually causes you more problems and can lead to all kinds of things like chronic illness and pain and all kinds of stuff. We want to avoid that. We want to be a nice, clean vessel for those emotions to flow through, not getting stuck and heavy anywhere, so that we can really design our life on purpose instead of just shit happening to us and us trying to, react instead of trying to be aware of what's going on, ask the questions, and then respond accordingly. Now, having a growth mindset, excuse me, is a game changer. Because
Yes,
I don't know about
absolutely.
you, but I have witnessed some people with fixed mindsets. And your mindset can be fixed in some areas and not others. So I just want
Mm,
to put that out so you can increase your awareness and open up your perspective. You might have a fixed mindset in one area and not in others. So
yeah.
if you're struggling to move forward in some area, there could be something maybe to look at there. But if you have a fixed mindset, you are going to feel like you're living Groundhog Day, right? Day
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
day, because it's the same
Yeah.
shit, different day, right? It's just on repeat. And you're going to wonder, why am I going around the same loop, right? I'm stuck in a loop. It's the same thing over and
Yeah.
over and over.
Yeah.
And if you don't do something to interrupt that pattern, like you were talking about, we really need to interrupt that pattern and create a new one. And it's not going to happen probably by accident. We have to
Yeah.
be intentional. So
Yeah.
so jump in here, Yara, and let us know, how can we really, cultivate a growth mindset that is going to help us as we evolve, and so that we can get more of that abundance into our world, yesterday.
Yeah. So I want to mention a few like really specific traits of people with a growth mindset so that we can understand how we can actually shift into that. So first of all, really, I would say the basis of this whole term growth mindset is that these people with a growth mindset have this strong belief that we can get better at something, we can grow when we work hard and when we don't give up. And these people are not afraid of challenges, but really they know that a challenge is here to learn and to grow from it, and it's okay to make mistakes. So when we have this way of thinking, that is when our mind again really opens up and we see more opportunities, and also where we really reach our goals much easier and faster. So some specific traits that I want to mention here, because of course there are many, but I want to mention a few which I think are really important. For example, that we don't see mistakes as failures, but that we really see a mistake is they are lessons. And if we don't make mistakes, we don't know what we did wrong. So we don't know how to actually tweak and improve that to make it better. And another one, for example, is that we take challenges not as something scary or threatening, where maybe our weaknesses could be revealed or we look stupid or anything like that. But challenges are actually, they can be exciting because again, it gives us this opportunity to move forward, to learn, to grow, to do something new. And also another one is people with a growth mindset, they value the journey more than the destination. And I really like that, because we have all these goals. We have a picture, a destination where we want to be, what we want to have achieved. But it's not just about achieving that. It's really about the journey, and it's about having fun, being excited, and really living every moment, because that gives meaning to the goal, to the end result, then when the whole journey towards that goal was actually exciting and interesting, right? So the growth mindset is really staying open, embracing change as well, and being open and also trusting towards what is there to come, and knowing that I've got what it takes to get over that challenge, or to, and I can only get better at something, and move forward and move towards success.
Absolutely. And cheers to failing forward. Failing is not really, I don't really think there is a way to fail. To be brutally honest, I think that if we make mistakes and we learn from them, we observe what didn't work. I mean, it's just information. And so if we can start to look at those mistakes or errors as just something that didn't work, that actually leads us that much closer to finding what will work. And so if we can shift that perspective, if we can step into the idea that obstacles are opportunities, right? We can really, really embrace this growth mindset. And it doesn't have to be difficult or or painful, it can actually be really exciting, like you said. Now,
Yeah,
fear and
absolutely.
excitement in the
Mm-hmm.
body, incidentally,
Mm-hmm.
feel very similar. So you have to also be very aware of that dynamic in your body, because the labels and judgments and meanings that you assign to those emotions actually intensify them, right? That's what you build your story
Yeah.
on. And so if you
Yeah.
feel some type of way, and now I know I've felt this, and I've felt this about things that have been like a full fuck yes on doing, and I still have this feeling, I think like, oh my gosh, I'm really nervous.
Mm-hmm.
But then I really started to unpack it. I'm like, am I really nervous? Okay, maybe a little bit, maybe like 10% nervous, but also 90% excitement. And they feel so similar that we have to be really mindful about what we're telling ourselves. If you're telling yourself, oh, I'm terrified, well, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
What actions are going to follow that? Now, if you are doing something that you're like, you really want to do, and you're feeling some kind of way, our tendency, because of that safety thing, is to tell ourselves that it's scary, it's going to be hard. You know, like you said, let's keep it safe. Let's stay here in the small zone.
Yeah.
But if you are going after something that you really want to do, you really have to be intentional to say, hold up a minute. Maybe there's a little bit of fear and discomfort here, but it's actually because it's so exciting. It's actually because I'm stepping out into new opportunities and possibilities that are just outside my comfort zone. And that is the only way to make new and exciting dreams come true. I'm right.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing with our mind. It does listen to what we say to it. And that brings us back actually to the point that we had before. Our thoughts are powerful. Our mind listens. And if we say, this is so scary, then our body reacts.
Yeah.
Every thought creates a physical reaction, which is a feeling, an emotion. So we have to be careful with what we say to ourselves. And at the beginning, it is really weird. It feels so awkward if you suddenly speak in a different way to yourself than you did the like all your life.
Yeah.
But you can make that familiar if you repeatedly speak in that in that positive or just in a different way to yourself, and that makes all the difference.
Yeah.
So I want to share just a couple of points that really helped me to shift my mindset. So the first thing, or actually not just my mindset, but in general, my business, my life, points that I feel like are really important. So for me, the first point is actually clarity. Clarity, and it starts with ourselves, like really clarity about ourselves, who we are, what we want, what makes us feel good, what do I need to be well, and like this clarity about who we are. Then also the clarity about our vision, our goals. And when it comes to business, I believe we need the clarity about our mindset, our energy, our strategy. So, and then of course also about our clients, our offer, our prices, like just the more clarity we have about ourselves and about what we do in life, where we are at. The easier things become, because then, and that brings me to the next point, we know what to focus on. Then we know where we can place our powerful focus onto, so that we actually move into that direction, because our focus is energy, and what we focus on, we create more of. And if we focus on being stuck, then we can't expect to move forward, right? But if we have the clarity, then we know what we can focus on, and then we can actually move forward.
And here's the thing about clarity. I think a lot of people wait and think clarity will come to them. And so they're not taking action because they don't have clarity, right? And so I just want to say, clarity comes from taking action. Clarity comes from making those mistakes, trying things, see what doesn't work, brushing up against some obstacles or challenges and overcoming them. That's how you get clarity. You get clarity by taking one step at a time. And then your view opens up, right? You don't plan a trip to somewhere and know the whole trip before you start. I mean, you might have an idea, but then you get out there and you realize, oh, there's actually a road closure, so I'm going to have to take a detour. This is the same in all areas of life. And so as much as people want to have everything planned from A to Z, that doesn't always work. And I know this one firsthand too, because I'm going to have this great plan. It's going to be like A, B, C, D, F, G, all the way to Z. It's all planned out. And then I get to B, and guess what? C is no longer on the table. I'm like, well, shit. Okay. So This idea of I'll get clarity and then I'll take action. I would just want to encourage you today to take small actions, because they will actually give you the clarity that you're waiting for. And instead of sitting around and waiting, you can actually be that much closer to having that outcome.
Yes, yes. I love that you say that, because that, brings me to the thought of what we all heard, taking imperfect action.
Yeah.
And it's exactly that. It's not, if we wait until something is perfect or whole or complete, we can wait forever. But if we just, act on what we know right now, at least we do something.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to us spiritual people, right? It just doesn't help if we just, our visualization, imagination, it's super powerful, like our thoughts, as well, our emotions. But at the end, for example, I mean, we can visualize the beach and the sea and the sunshine and the warmth as much as we want. But if we don't get our ass off the couch and get into that plane, it all
it's not going to happen,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to take action. But again, also, we can only take aligned action if we have clarity as well. And for example, I do like writing, journaling, like goal setting as well, writing things down. That can bring so much clarity. And if we then take action with that, then that really can propel us forward.
Yeah. And I mean, if you don't have any clarity about what it is that you want, it's hard to recognize it, even if it's slapping you in the face, right? I think specifically about relationships, for example. If you don't have a good picture of what it is you want, maybe you have a very good picture of what you don't want, perhaps from past experiences. I know I have been there. But if you don't have a clear definition of what it is that you're actually looking to create, it can be hard to recognize it. It could literally walk right in front of you and you'll be like, not it. Because you don't actually have that clear definition of what it is that you're looking for. Now, of course, it's not like, you can be really specific or you can be a little bit more broad. Sometimes you have to be a little bit open to things turning out a little bit different than you maybe anticipated. But it's more about that experience of it. I think at the end of the day, it's what are the feelings that you want to be having? What are the experiences that you want to be having? That's the kind of clarity that you need. Now, what kind of steps can you take to move you closer to having that, while also maintaining and holding that here and now? Because I don't know if you can read my little sign way up top here, but it says happiness. Oh, I don't know actually what it says exactly. Yeah. Happiness is a journey, not a destination. I wanted to make sure I said it exactly right, which is what you alluded to before. It is about the journey. And if we can start to create some clarity, we can start to create some of those experiences that we want here and now. That's now is the time, right? And the more that we do that now, the more we will act from that place of that experience of abundance or wealth or peace or love or whatever it is. And that allows us to, carry on doing that. It's not about the destination. And if you are stuck in that sort of mentality, like I'll be happy when I don't know, insert whatever outcome you're waiting for to create your happiness, you'll probably get to that end destination and it will feel pretty because it will be short-lived. Because the happiness is not in the outcomes, it's in you. And so if you start with that happiness, if you start with that peace, if you start with that abundance, if you start with that freedom and go act from that place, then you're intentionally now creating more and more of those experiences, drawing more and more of those external physical pieces of reality to you that support that. It's like you've turned your brain filter on to that which you desire, instead of always being focused on the things that you don't want or the things that you're resistant to, the things that feel sticky or uncomfortable. And that's a different kind of uncomfortable, right? Than the growth kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah. And that is, I believe that is actually the only way how we can even really get to our goals and realize our dreams and desires. Because as much as we work or do something, they're not just going to come to us. We need to, as you say, we need to become that person, that version. We need to step into that version of ourselves that can actually create that these results or that money or whatever it is, So that is why I also always stress the clarity about who we are becoming. Like, who is this person actually that has achieved my dreams, that has reached my income goal? What are her beliefs? How does she actually feel? Like, really, how does it feel, to walk around in your home or to drive with your car knowing you make this much money, or you create this impact? And when you feel that, how would you show up?
Yeah.
And when you can show up from this place, not all of the time, because you live in the reality where you are now, but as much as possible, this is where I really see that in myself and also in my clients and many people. This is where you start to see your reality shifting, and where it becomes really interesting, because then you shift your mindset and then you realize, oh, I shifted my perception. Only yesterday, I looked at the same thing from a different angle, thinking this is fixed, this is how it is. But it was just me who looked at it like that.
Yeah.
And that is, like, to me, that is just fascinating, that whole topic, because we can see nothing is as fixed as we see it. It is us. It is the lens of our mindset through which we see things.
Yeah. And if we were literally not seeing things clearly, we would go to an eye doctor and get some glasses or contact lenses or something so that we could see things more clearly. So open invitation. If your beliefs are preventing you, your perspectives, your mindsets, preventing you from having the life that you desire, it's time for a little belief checkup, because we want you to shift that lens and clear away the gunk, so that you can start to see clearly what is available for you. Abundance, peace, love, joy, bliss, all of it is available to you. And if you aren't seeing that, it probably just means that your lenses are a little bit dirty, right? A little shift in perspective can go a long ways.
Calling all strong women. Are you trapped in a cycle of people pleasing? Are you tired of saying yes when you really mean no? Have you been living for everyone but yourself? Welcome to Authenticity Unleashed. Imagine a life where you call the shots. Imagine living truly happy and free. Authenticity Unleashed was designed just for you, so that you can create the life and relationships that you desire and deserve. Picture setting boundaries without guilt and building relationships that truly lift you up. Ready for a new adventure? Register now and start your journey to a more authentic you. Craving more personalized support? Upgrade now and get tailored one-on-one guidance. Your life, your rules, your moment to shine. This is your Authenticity Unleashed.
Let's circle back to money and mindset and really dive a little bit deeper into those mindsets. We talked about the scarcity mindset and the abundance mindset. So how can we put away a little bit more of that scarcity mindset? How can we really call up those beliefs so that we can see them and dismiss them because they're not helping us?
Yeah.
And how do we lean all the way in on abundance?
Okay, of course, there are different ways, and also everyone needs to find the tools and the ways that work for them.
Yeah.
But first of all, there is our mind, where we need to change our thoughts. We need to rewire. We need to shift our beliefs. But that doesn't help if we don't connect that with our emotions. So let's just take an example, a very common example. People feel tense or scared when they spend money, because there's this fear behind of what if I run out of money, or there isn't enough, or I don't know, the supply might end. This is a very common feeling and fear. So what we can do is that, first of all, we need to shift at looking from our expenses and what we don't have, where we spend the money, to what we actually have. So if you look at the money that is coming in your life, and there's always something, because otherwise we wouldn't be here, right? There's always money coming in. So if you look at where the money comes in and you really start to feel grateful for that shows you, that shifts you to see, wow, actually, there's something coming in. There's something coming in. And it doesn't matter how little that is. And then when you spend money, think about, what do you actually get in return? Because you don't just spend the money for nothing. You get something in return. You go to buy the groceries, or you fill up petrol in your car, or you pay your mortgage or your rent or whatever it is. You get something. So what if you actually wouldn't get that? What if you wouldn't pay for your internet and it would shut down, or your electricity and it would shut down? You would be happy to pay that. And you would be so grateful to pay that bill for your electricity and your internet. Like, for example, in my case, where I run my business from home and I absolutely rely on that.
Yeah.
I happily pay that bill because, wow, this gives me so much. And if you can do that every time that this tense and scary feeling comes up, to say, wait a moment, and you take a deep breath and say, wow, I get this in return. Actually, thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you, money, for what I can buy for it now, or what I get for it now. When you do that every time, or as often as you have the awareness, that is one very powerful way that will shift the feeling for you and your perspective, because you look at what you get, what you have, what is flowing to you.
And it's easy to take a lot of that for granted. I mean, we go through life with the lights on and the internet connected, and our phone is working, and we have water to drink that's safe. You know, there's so much in our world that we do tend to take a lot of it for granted. And so you know, this can keep us in a scarcity mindset just by not recognizing all the things that we truly have to be grateful for. That's why they say have an attitude of gratitude, because the more grateful for you that you are for what you have, the more, you know, first of all, your brain filters are set for more things to be grateful for. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How much better can it get? But also, you're not then resisting the opposite side. And I remember somewhere I heard, and I can't recall exactly where, but sort of this idea that you could be over here trying to move away from something, but it actually keeps you tethered to it. If you think that you're moving away from something, you're almost still tethered to it. So if you're in a scarcity mindset, you're trying to move away from being broke, you're moving away from being poor and not having enough. That's still keeping you tethered to this whole concept of not enough. Now, on the other hand, if you're moving towards abundance and you're moving towards wealth, prosperity, success, all of the things that you desire, and I'll give you a very short practical example of this in my arena in a second, but that is so much more powerful, because now you're no longer tethered to that. You're actually drawn to expand into that thing that you truly want. So my very short example about this is, of course, in the area of relationships, because that's my zone. And it is this, I had this idea for, you know, years and years and years, what I kind of wanted in a healthy relationship. But when I was in my marriage, I really kind of got sucked into looking at all the things that I didn't want. And when I finally got clarity and flipped that to get a little bit more clear, not on what I didn't want, not what I was trying to run away from, not what I was trying to block, not what I was trying to resist, but what I actually wanted to create, I'll tell you what, the universe delivered and then some before I was even fucking ready. Like, I was not ready for what I got handed in this amazing relationship that I now have. And it is everything that I had this list essentially of things that I wanted to create in a healthy, happy relationship. And it wasn't easy to create this list, because like I said, when I was creating this list, I was very stuck in like, well, I know what I don't want. And so it took a little effort. It wasn't natural for me right off the hop to flip those around instead of resisting, to move into abundance and what I wanted to create, but it made all the world of difference. So share with us any other secrets that you have here to shift us away from that scarcity, or any stories, maybe whatever you want to share with us, into really a prosperity and success mindset.
Okay, yeah. Just what I quickly also want to say to what you just shared is that is where it comes back to our focus. And where I say also, when it comes to healing, at some point we need to stop to dig into the past, the problems, the issues, and we really need to look at what is it that we want. And if we so focus on that, and that brings me also to a powerful practice, like what I mean, we touched on that, but when we know the life that we want, you know, the person that we want to be, like, even how do I want to be dressed? What do I want to eat every day? How do I want to feel? And if we envision that every day and we feel into that person, and we take a deep breath, we need to also connect that with our body, with our nervous system. That is what I think is really important. And the breath is one way of doing that. But if you see that person, and maybe also how light her thoughts are around money, like she has maybe a money peace of mind, and feels amazing about money and knows there is an abundance of all the good things, all the money. And then how does that really feel in your heart, in your body? For most people, it's like relief, it's freedom, it's exciting. It's like, oh, wow, it's like so good.
The ability to choose.
Yeah. And if you breathe that into your heart, into your entire body, you can really feel a tingling through your body. I'm even thinking I'm going to take that into the hypnosis very soon.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. When you do that, you really shift yourself, and you shift on all levels, on a mind level, on an emotional, and also on a physical level. Yeah. And in the same way, how you can do this with the imagination and your breath for your successful version, let's say, you can do that for money. And I love doing that with people, and I do that with my clients, because money is way more than all these notes. Money is, in the first place, it's an energy. It's an energy of like a tool of exchange, but it's an energy and a frequency. So I call it the money energy image. So I like to ask my clients, and also in my free events, I do that. Like, when you think of money, but not just the notes, when you think of the energy of money, what it means to you, what it gives to you in your life, what is that for you? Do you have an image, an energy, a color, a feeling? Like, what does that money energy mean to you? How does it look to you? And when you have that, like, just to give you an example, for me, it's like a cloud of like golden sparkles, which I can really breathe in. And I have one client, for her, it's like she connected with the leaves on trees. So like, she really envisions that the leaves on the trees are notes, and that makes her brain to think and to see that, oh, money is everywhere. Yeah. So whatever it is, there's no wrong or right, but whatever it is, when you know your money energy image, you can connect to that in the same way, like to your successful version. And you can breathe that in and really tell yourself, like, the river of wealth is flowing to me, and you breathe that in and you feel into abundance. And abundance means having everything at all times, like everything good at all times. And I really believe that we are divine, abundant beings. Our core is abundance. So we need to connect back to ourselves. When we connect to our money energy image, when we speak about abundance, it is so much more than money, as we know. But actually, it also, it ties into connecting back to ourselves. Yes. So when we do this practice of breathing in our money energy image, we actually connect to ourselves at the same time. And I love that as one of the most powerful practices, because it combines everything, like it connects everything.
Yeah. And we, like you said, we are abundance. So yes. It's really just stripping away the conditioning and the programming and the beliefs that are not that, so that we can see clearly again the whole abundant, miraculous divine beings that we are. Yeah. So are we ready to dive into this hypnosis? Or do you have anything else that you wanted to share before we hop into that part of it?
No, I think I'm fine. Let's just dive into some minutes. I'm just going to guide you some minutes into a hypnosis, just into a deep, relaxed state, and just give you like a little, how shall I say, a little journey, a little process of shifting into a more positive mindset and into a feeling of abundance, and that actually success is available to you.
Okay. So I'm assuming, if you're driving and listening to this, maybe take a pause, don't partake in the hypnosis, pause it and return when you can find yourself, just a nice, calm, safe space where you won't be interrupted for the next 10-ish minutes or so.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So you just have to be in a comfortable position, make sure that you wouldn't fall off the chair, but you are still conscious. So just make yourself comfortable in that way. And we go into hypnosis by looking up, because when we look up and we keep our eyes fixed on a real or imagined spot overhead, that is where like a rush of lower brain waves go through our brain, and that is where we just easier and then also deeper go into hypnosis. So everyone, we just look up as high as you possibly can, as if you want to look into your own eyebrows. Fix your eyes on a real or imagined spot overhead. Take a deep breath in, and through your mouth, exhale slowly. Take another deep breath in, keeping your eyeballs rolled up, and breathe out. Just let go any tension or worries. Just let go. One more time, breathing in, keeping your eyeballs rolled up. And now with the exhale, just close your eyelids down. Just gently close your eyes. Take another deep breath in. And breathe out, just intending to become more relaxed. The muscles and nerves in and around your eyes are becoming heavy, droopy, drowsy. Your eyelids are already beginning to feel as if they've been glued shut, sealed shut, locked tight. Just forget all about your eyes now. And already all your cares and tensions are just fading away. You are relaxing more with each easy breath that you take. Just allow a drifting, floating feeling to develop in your body. Don't try to make anything happen. Just let go. Just allow yourself to go deeper. Picture now 10 steps descending right in front of you. And I'm going to count backwards from 10 to 1. And you will see your feet, hear your feet, and even feel your feet treading each step as you go deeper. So now you are moving on to step 10, and each muscle, each nerve in your entire body turns loose and lets loose. You are taking step 9 and 8 as a wave of relaxation washes over you, and you are going deeper, deeper into your own internal state. You are taking step 7 and 6 as you move down, drift down, travel down to an even deeper level. You are taking step 5 and 4, more deeply, more peacefully relaxed. You are taking step 3 as you gently, calmly, easily move on over to an even deeper level. You are taking step 2 and you go even deeper into an awareness of yourself. And now you're taking the final step 1, just go deeper, drift deeper, sink deeper, float deeper. You just go deeper and deeper and deeper. You're going deeper and you are listening with your subconscious mind. And your conscious mind is free to drift further and further away. You are going to a level where you can communicate with your subconscious mind. And you know that at your core you are abundance. And the universe brought you here into this lifetime, into this body, into your life with a specific purpose. You have a unique mission, message, and purpose here. And because you are abundance at your core, abundance is available to you. You know that the conditioning, the beliefs, the stories that are not true about you, any scarcity thinking, that is not true. Those are just layers. And if you take off these layers, you are abundance. And abundance, riches, and wealth are available to you. You know, and you've heard that a big part of becoming successful, stepping into abundance, Creating riches in your life comes down to your way of thinking, to your mindset. And from now onwards, you have the awareness to catch the thoughts that support you. You step into a thinking of abundance. You start to think good thoughts about yourself. You know and you think that success is available to you. Of course it is. Success is available to you. Riches and wealth is available to you. You are wealthy in so many ways already. You are abundant. You are abundant in your heart, at your core. So, drawing in abundance is only natural to you. Take a deep breath into your heart and connect to yourself, connect to your core of abundance. You are worthy of wealth and riches. You are worthy of abundance. You are worthy of success and money. It's your nature. You are unique. You matter in this lifetime. You have something so valuable to give to others, to this planet. And when you can open up to your abundance, that is where you create the biggest impact. That's where you contribute to positive shifts in this world. So developing a growth mindset means that you believe in yourself. You can learn and grow. You believe in what you do because you know that you give yourself. You know you are good. You are good enough. You are amazing at what you do. And you always continue. You never give up, but you always continue. You give your best. And that brings you to create success in your life. You embrace change. You embrace challenges, knowing that you have whatever it takes to face the challenges, to overcome them, to learn and to grow, and to step into an even more powerful version of yourself. Your mind always listens to you. Tell your mind the thoughts and the stories that support you. Tell your mind powerful words that create the images of the life that you want, of the success that you desire, of the riches that you want. Successful people are not so different from you. They just know how to use their mind. And you create the thinking of successful people. You know, mistakes are okay. Mistakes are only natural. And you learn from any mistake. And then you know how to do it better. And you feel good about yourself. You feel confident. Confidence comes from taking action. And you take action, even if it's imperfect, even if it's messy. You take the actions, you do your best. You take the best action that you know. And you move forward. You know that you get better. And you feel good afterwards. And that increases your confidence. So you move forward with confidence. You develop a high self-worth and high self-esteem because you start to talk to yourself in a very positive way. There's nothing that boosts our self-esteem like praise. So you start to praise yourself. Every day, you speak to yourself in a positive way. You praise yourself. You are amazing. You are strong. You can do anything that you set your mind on. You can achieve any goals. You can achieve the success that you really set your mind on and that you work towards. So you see, you are free to become the person you want to be and to create what you desire in your life. You have the choice to think different thoughts, and you start to think thoughts that support you reaching your goals. You start to think thoughts of successful people. You say yes, yes to yourself, yes to what you do, yes to your life. You say yes to your business, yes to your next goals, your income goals. And that excites you. When you excite your mind about what you do and about your goals, your mind will find ways of bringing that to you, of showing you what you have to do in order to move forward. Show your mind what you want. Show your mind what you want and excite your mind about your goals. Take a deep breath and feel good about yourself. So excited. I want you now to look at a specific goal that you have. Maybe an income goal in your business. Maybe any other goal on a project that you work on. Maybe it's a private goal in your relationship, whatever it is for you. I want you now to think of a goal that you would like to achieve, something that you would like to experience and live. See your goal as an image. How does the situation look? Maybe the people, the income, the results, the clients, or your partner, depending on what that goal is for you. See that image of your goal as clearly as possible. And now see yourself in that scenery. See yourself having that goal achieved, being there in that desired reality. Who are you there? How does she look? How do you look in that image of your goal? How do you walk? How do you talk? How do you move? What is your posture? And how do you feel? How do you feel about money? How do you feel about yourself having your goal achieved? And what are your thoughts having your goal achieved, being there? And of course, you have bigger goals, you have a vision behind that goal again. But how do you think and feel in that goal image? And when you have that a bit clear, when you see yourself living in the reality of your goal, I want you to take a very deep breath into your heart. Connect with that image right now. Breathe into your heart. Connect to that image. Connect to that goal version of you. And feel this feeling in your whole body, how it feels to have your goal achieved. How exciting is that? You are laughing, you are smiling. You feel good about yourself. You expand your energy and your heart because it feels so amazing. You've done this. You've created that. Of course, because you can. Because you are capable of doing that, of achieving your goal. Breathe in again. Breathe in into your heart. Breathe your goal in. This is you. You can do this. You are amazing. And your goal is absolutely available to you. You set your mind on your goal. You feel it. You feel the excitement. And from that place, you take aligned action that move you towards your goal. Connect to this image and to this person that you are, and to those feelings as often as you want, as this will support you to move closer to your goal because you act from that person that you are becoming. Just enjoy this feeling one more moment. Enjoy being the person that you are becoming. And now, on the count of 5 and 4, you feel so good about yourself. You know you can do this. You feel it. You feel amazing. On the count of 3 and 2, you can slowly, calmly, easily come back to your full awareness. And on the count of 1, when you are ready, you can just open your eyes and take a deep breath. Welcome back.
I'm back. All right, let's see if I still got my wits about me here. It feels so good.
How was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, that was amazing. I love being in that space and really, future visioning the dream I have and really placing myself into that future moment, but here and now, so I can really experience it. Because I really feel like the more we can do that, more we bring that experience to ourselves now, the more we're going to recognize opportunities that bring us closer to it and get that clarity like we had chatted about earlier. Ooh, so good.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of my absolute favorite practice, because first of all, it feels so nice, it feels so amazing, and we are just in a higher vibe, in a different state after. And also, really, this is how we how we bring that to us, and how we bring ourselves into that state where we can really then create that.
Yeah, what a beautiful experience. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. If you're listening, watching, listening on the replay, on the podcast, wherever you're listening to this, I would love to hear what you thought of that. And I'm sure Jara would also love to.
Yeah, I would love to hear that. Absolutely.
I'd love to know how this impacted you. And oh man, I hope that you are walking away from this feeling like $1 billion bucks, right? Just feeling like anything is possible for you, because it truly is.
Yeah, and I just want to mention very quickly to this little hypnosis journey that it feels good and it is powerful, but of course it was very general. Yeah. So it is an absolutely different experience actually when it really is a personal, like a personal hypnosis where I speak the name, where I really address the specific thoughts, feelings, images, I just wanted to say that it really becomes like absolutely more powerful, because you really go then into your individual feeling and future self as well.
And really just speaking specifically to any of those beliefs that are blocking you.
Exactly.
I don't like the word block, but those beliefs that are keeping you sort of stuck in the patterns, not taking action that would be aligned with the version of you that you truly desire to be.
Yeah.
Jara, share with us where we can get a hold of you, where listeners can get in touch with you to get a little bit more of your magic in their life. And as well, feel free to share about any of your upcoming offers or anything that you just like to let the listeners know about.
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. So best to find me is on Facebook, Jara Geipel. And I don't know if you probably put the link somewhere.
Yeah, we'll make sure we get it in the show notes.
Yeah. So on Facebook, my profile, and then I do have a free Facebook group. It's called Prosperity Mindset, where there are lots of free trainings, and I do weekly lives, and also regularly I run free events, which are super powerful. And of course, I do have my signature program, Money Shift 7. It's a 3-month program. It's a combination of coaching and hypnosis, where we really go deep into, all the topics that actually matter when it comes to our relationship to money, like really shifting mindset and energy into prosperity on a very deep level. Yeah. And I do also have a mastermind that we start next month, this November. I'm super excited about that. It will be a very powerful, very personal container, a group program where we, work on becoming the best version of ourselves and really living from the best version of ourselves in everyday life as much as possible. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, as we wrap up, honestly, this is no pressure, Jara, but this is the last episode in this masterclass series. So we're not just wrapping up this episode, we're wrapping up this beautiful series. So no pressure at all. But I would love for you to share any last thoughts, ideas, practical action steps, anything that's on your heart to share with the listeners as we just complete our journey here together.
Yeah. So what I want to share is that no matter which topic we actually speak about, it can be the whole money and abundance topic, or even relationship, or when it comes to our health or our purpose here in this lifetime, all these topics, at the end, we need to come back to ourselves. And Christy, we've spoken about this topic before, and I've spoken about this topic with many other women, because we can all see that, yeah, we are looking so much into the external world, and yes, we plan our goals and we do the action steps, and all that is really great. But we can only find answers and really get clarity and also create amazing things from the inside. And also wealth, abundance, money, it starts within, with you. So this is where I want to say, where I want to, invite you to find ways to connect deeply with yourself, no matter what you work on, no matter what your circumstances are, or your challenges or your desires, no matter the level of income. It's you coming back to yourself, connecting deeply to yourself. This is what I believe, that is what matters most in daily life, because the more deeply we are connected to ourselves, the better we can ground ourselves, like really be centered in ourselves, settle in our own energy. And from that place, we are a completely different person, how we show up to our children, in our relationship, in our business, towards our clients. So we need to come back to ourselves. And a little practice that I want to give for that is go with yourself in front of the mirror. And really, it's super powerful. For some people who haven't done that practice before, it's weird and scary, and it's like you can open the whole pot of emotions.
Yeah, anything new is weird. So just know that going in, right? And then just breathe through. But really,
connecting with yourself in the mirror, to look into your own eyes and maybe have a conversation with yourself, or praise yourself. Start to speak to yourself in the mirror in a positive way. It will change how you feel and how you go about your day and how you treat yourself and others.
Yeah, that's brilliant advice. And I'm just going to shout out to all of season 2 of the Create Your Happy podcast for a whole host of additional tools for really solidifying that foundational relationship that you have with yourself, because that does absolutely affect every single experience that you are going to have here in this human meat suit on this planet.
Yeah.
It all comes back to you. So thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, sharing that beautiful guided hypnosis. I hope it was valuable to everyone listening. Love your feedback. With that, I'm going to send so much love out to all of you. I love you. I love you. Love you. Now let's go do some epic shit, shall we?
Amazing. Thank you so much, Christy.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Create Your Happy's special bonus season. I trust this real, raw, uncut conversation will fuel your inner fire and provide you with the practical action steps needed to propel you forward. It's time to unlock your path to consciously creating an impact and leaving your legacy. If you've enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and share with other women in your life who could use a little extra inspiration today. My guest and I would love to hear from you. You'll find the links to connect with us both in the show notes. And if you're ready to take your life, relationship, and business to the next level, I invite you to consider working with me one-on-one. Together, we'll up-level every aspect of your beautiful human journey to create the fulfilling relationships that you desire and deserve. Reach out to learn more about how we can embark on this transformative journey together. As always, get out there, have fun, be you, and create your happy.